It's midweek once again. I am happy to be on your screen today with your most interactive session on TV. Yes, that's right. It's Joy News Interactive. The show is live from the digital address 099-3341 here in Kokomemle, Accra. It's Maps here, and I'm ready to mirror your comments to the rest of the world. So pipe them through to us. We are Joy News on TV on Facebook and Twitter. And remember, we are live on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. So let's start with somewhat good news that's got the nation talking. The Akufo-Addo government promised to end the spread of joblessness in the country, and it appears it is doing just that. The Employment and Labor Relations Minister, Ignatius Bafo, has revealed that 100,000 unemployed graduates to be hired under the Nation Builders School initiatives will receive 600 Ghana each month. And he further noted that the new program, which aims at addressing livelihood empowerment and graduate unemployment, will also serve as safe haven for those who may have completed their national service but have not been engaged to get something doing while looking for a permanent work. So what do you make of the proposed salary? Is 600 Ghana cedi enough or not? Let's take the first comment from Vicky, who says, Ghana and their big mouth. If you have and you don't like, you don't have to want it. We'll take from Ivy, who says, although saying this is good news, it's equivalent to national service allowance. Now tell me how much you can save from that, not forgetting rent, water, light politician. In fact, all politicians are the same. They only seek their own interest. And do you think of this external family members are suffering as just one person? Would they suffer less? And Mensa Godfrey says, unemployment is both skilled and unskilled laborers, but not graduates alone. Earning this per month is better than not working. Godsway Kodra says, thieves, how can you pay university graduates 600 Ghana cedi per month while you don't pay utility bills? And Asan Dixon says, people should stop lamenting because in truth, there's no work to be done. We have seen graduates in employment programs where the employed do nothing and yet they are paid. So if you are employed to go and fix stickers on houses, it is that one to work where you deserve something beyond what has been proposed. And Salifu says, who has not even stepped out in a university before, but for MPP, he gets shoe allowance worth more than 600 Ghana cedi. And he tags someone and he says that they must hear this. And Mirkus Men says, extension of national service or what? NDC did extend national service. Anyway, this mouth government, as is evident, is suspect. And Kwesi Entru says, do what and for how long? You're just finding ways to dash out to your foot soldiers, period. If the jobs are there, why don't you give them employment appointments? And Author says, those who want to be paid what the minister is getting paid should go and do politics. What people are getting paid itself is relative. The question is where these people live, what will they eat, the cost of commuting to work and back, the basic bills they have to pay. Then you will see the real money they're getting. The calculations over 31 days means that is about 19 cedis plus a day. And how much will 3 square meals cost? TNT question mark. And the problem is that the cost of labor is so cheap in Ghana because of the unemployment situation. So if you want to see more of this comment, you can go to Facebook and we'll Joy News on TV. And Bar Realist says, no wonder people are busy trekking to Libya. It's a shame. Some cleaners are taking 3 times of that in Arab Gulf countries, yet the only natural resources these countries are having is oil. But Ghana and Africa with our vast resources, and this is what graduates are taking home as monthly salaries. It's a sad thing. And Wilson Kofi says, ad hoc measure to dole out to party men and women. NPP is notorious for problematic schemes like this. The first NPP government came out with NYE scheme, which was an albatross on Ogbuba Pella's neck, and he tried to contain it by coming out with GYEDA, and this is what the government is using to witch hunt him. If we can take more comments from Abdul, who says, it is better not relying on them. We can take more comments asking you, what do you think of this proposed salary? Is 600 Ghana cedis enough? And Abdul says, yeah, it is better not relying on someone's coffers and get disrespected or looked down upon by that person. And Alfred says, 600 Ghana cedi is woefully inadequate considering the current high cost of living. Ghana politicians must think outside the box at solving the problems facing the youth. If he is given 600, can he survive on that money? And for some good news, Ghana goes HeForShe. The Gender Ministry, with the support of the UN Women, launched the HeForShe campaign in Accra on Tuesday, 12 December 2017, where President Nana Akufo-Addo underscored the role of women in the nation's development. Let's hear from the President.
We do ourselves and future generations a great disservice if we leave women out of the agenda for development. In Ghana, 51% of our population is female. The last census of our country has it that 73% of our population is below the age of 35. These statistics are also representative of the African condition and mean that the empowerment of our women constitute fundamental challenges for our development. That is the surest way of rooting our poverty and guaranteeing the progress and prosperity of our continent and country. I am thus proud that Ghana is today joining several other countries who have launched the HeForShe platform. It is important we recognize that gender equality, and for that matter, women's equality with men, is a prerequisite for development. As the AU gender champion and the co-chair of the UN SDG advocates, I pledge to work with all actors to ensure that gender equality becomes reality in Ghana and across the continent.
The campaign is aimed at mobilizing over 2 million men to stand up and support women and take actions that will lead to empowerment and gender equality for both men and women. The use of men is motivated by the fact that achieving gender equality is a collective responsibility and a mutual agenda for both men and women. Now let's hear from the Gender Minister, Otiko Jaba.
We have a common destiny to develop our homeland, Ghana. We must do it together by creating an enabling environment for both men, boys, women, and girls to participate fully. And to borrow Kofi Annan's words and paraphrase, to live is to choose. To choose well is to know who you are, what you stand for, and where you want to be. Where we want to be as Ghanaians is to be developed. We must unleash the full potential of our women and girls. We must ensure that we release the tied legs of the women so that together we can work as one community, one people, with one voice and one accord for Mother Ghana. So Ghana goes HeForShe.
Ghana goes HeForShe. So we asked you on Facebook, how strongly do you feel influenced by traditional gender expectations? Should what you do be determined by your gender? And on Facebook, the first comment we're going to take is from Amit, who says, will women start paying bride price of men after they are fully empowered? I have been thinking, Who disempowered women in the first place? With all the scholarship packages for girls' education and what have you, the difference in number at the tertiary levels of education is still clear. No amount of feeding will make the ankle bigger than the thigh. Give us a break. And Anthony Dublin says, he for she, but a certain government is deliberately using a CJ who is its party member under the guise of petition to remove a she. Let's take God Knows Billy, who says, okay, it's a waste of money. This campaign is not realistic. I don't think it will even yield 10% results. The minister should find different approach. God Knows Billy, thank you so much for your comment. Adams, who says, corrupt media house deliberately closing your camera button under the post. Okay. Prince says, it's the impact and results that is the most important, not the individual. It's said that if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a whole nation. Gender balance is good for national development. I disagree with my president. Women are already competing with men and edging men out of competition. Men already have sympathy for women. In any competition where men and women are equals, the choice is mostly for the woman. Enough of the bias. Okay, and Men says, when NDC implemented a UN Girl Child Pro-Poor program by providing sanitary pads to underprivileged schoolgirls, dishonest MPP went to town with some foolish narratives. And Kwai says, after all these women conferences, now what? Waste of everything. My wife sleeps half of the bed while I manage half. What else again about equality? Well, Kwai, everything about equality. Musa Mubarak says, oh yes, paying no attention to gender is what is leading us into the question of same sex. Gender must determine what we do and who we are in Ghana and in any country. And Al Bayan says, we must recommend the gender minister for this beautiful initiative to help the womb that gave birth to us realize that the importance to the society and the respect they need from us. So those are your comments on should what you do be determined by your gender, and are you forced by traditional gender expectations? So we're going to take a quick breather. So the Joy News Interactive team will leave you with the video of the day.
Your Honor, I shall like to start with this. Now, Your Honor, this is one very famous quote. Your Honor, like my learned colleague quoted someone from the north, a musician from the north, Fancy Gadam, who sang the song, why be say, I marry you beautiful.
Objection! He's singing the song better than I did.
Okay. So do your own thing.
Yes. Your Honor, I shall like to quote the king of music in the north, King Aisuba. Your Honor, he said something. He said, yeah, Baba. You must have Your Honor, that is very...
Now he's so bad that he said that. He said that.
Well, Your Honor, that is true. And he also said that,
So are we turning my court into a classroom for teaching a language?
So, Your Honor, we're only, debating intellectually on what King Aisuba said or did not say.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for the debate. It's over now. Let's come back to your defense.
So we meet after.
Oh, sure.